Hello again and welcome to the next video of section 4, Scores and Scoring, UI and Text Objects. In the previous video we've learned about user controls. In this video we'll discuss about the scoring system for our game. Let's move on to the scoring system, and in creating this we'll create GameController.GameController. Is simply a script or class that manages all game-wide and overarching behavior. This includes the score, because for this game the score refers to one single and one global number representing the achievements and progress of the player. Before jumping into the implementation, start by creating a simple GUI to display the game score. GUI is an acronym for Graphic User Interface, and this refers to all 2D graphical elements that sit atop the game window and provide information to the player. To create this, create a new GUI canvas object by selecting Game Object, UI, Canvas from the application menu. The canvas object defines the total surface area or area in which the GUI lives, including all buttons, text and other widgets. On being generated in the scene, Canvas also features in the hierarchy panel. Initially, the canvas object may be too large or too small to be seen clearly in the viewport. So, select the canvas object in the hierarchy panel and press the F key on the keyboard to focus on the object. This should appear as a large vertically aligned rectangle. The canvas object is not visible itself in the Game tab. Rather, it acts as a container. Even so, it strongly influences how contained objects appear on the screen in terms of size, position and scale. For this reason, before adding objects and refining the design of an interface, it's helpful to configure your canvas object first. To do this, select the canvas object in the scene, and from the Object Inspector, click on the UI Scale Mode drop-down option from the Canvas Scaler component. From the drop-down list, choose the Scale with Screen Size option and enter an HD resolution in the Reference Resolution field. That is, specify 1920 for the X field and 1080 for the Y field. By adjusting the Canvas Scaler to scale with screen size, the user interface for the game will automatically stretch and shrink up and down scale to fit the target resolution, ensuring that each element is scaled to the same proportions, maintaining the overall look and feel. This is a quick and easy method to create a UI once and have it adjust size to fit nearly any resolution. It may not always be the best solution to maintaining the highest quality graphical fidelity, but it's functional and suitable in many cases. In any case, before proceeding with the UI design, it's helpful to see both the screen viewport and game tabs side by side in the interface or across two monitors, if you have a multi-monitor configuration. This allows us to build the interface in the scene viewport and then preview its effects in the game tab. You can rearrange the scene and game tabs simply by dragging and dropping the game tab beside the scene tab in the Unity editor. Next, let's add the text widget to the GUI to display the game score. To do this, select the canvas object in the hierarchy panel, and then right-click on that object in the hierarchy panel to display a context menu. From here, select UI Text. This creates a new text object as the child of the canvas object, as opposed to a top-level object with no parent. The text object is useful to draw text on screen with a specific color, size and font setting. By default, the text object may not initially appear visible in either the scene or viewport, even though it's listed as an object in the hierarchy panel. However, look more closely in the scene and you're likely to see a very small and dark text which appears both in the canvas and game tab. By default, new text objects feature black text at a small font size. For this project, these settings will need to be changed. Select the text object in the hierarchy panel, if it's not already selected, and from the Object Inspector in the text component, change the text color to white and font size to 20. The text, however, still appears too small even after changing its size. If you increase the size further, however, the text may disappear from view. This happens because each text object has a rectangular boundary defining its limits, and when the font size increases beyond what can fit in the boundary, the text is automatically hidden altogether. To fix this, we'll increase the text boundary. To do this, switch to the Rect Transform tool with T or select the tool from the toolbar. On activating the Rect Transform tool, a clearly defined boundary will be drawn around the selected text object in the scene viewport, indicating its rectangular extents. Let's increase the boundary size to accommodate larger text. To do this, simply click and drag on the boundary edges with the mouse to extend them as needed. This will increase the boundary size, and now you can increase font size to improve text readability. In addition to setting the text boundary size, the text can also be vertically aligned to the boundary center. Simply click on the Center Alignment button for the vertical group. The horizontal alignment, the text should remain left aligned to allow for the score display. Although the text is now aligned vertically within its containing boundary, we'll still need to align it as a whole to the canvas container to ensure that it remains on screen at the same position and orientation, even if the game window is resized and realigned. To do this, we'll use anchors. To start, use the Transform tool, W, to reposition the text object to the top right corner of the screen at the location where the score should appear. The object will automatically move within a 2D plane as opposed to a 3D space. As you move the text object in the scene viewport, check its appearance in the Game tab to ensure that it looks correct and appropriate. To secure the position of the text object on screen, preventing it from sliding or moving even if the Game tab is resized by the user, we can set the object's anchor position to the top right corner of the screen. This ensures that the text is always positioned as a constant, proportional offset from its anchor. To do this, click on the Anchor Presets button in the Rec to Transform component in the Object Inspector. When you do this, a preset menu appears from which you can choose a range of alignment locations. Each preset is graphically presented as a small diagram, including a red dot at the location of anchor alignment. Select the top right preset. Excellent work! The text object is now created and ready to use. Of course, in play mode, the text remains unchanged and doesn't display a real score. That's because we need to add some code. However, the overall text object is in place and we can move on. In the next video, we'll see about working with scores, scripting with text.